Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the March 11th meeting of the College Park Business and Industrial Development Authority. The time is approximately 6:34, and we are beginning our meeting. We're going to start today with roll call. I will introduce myself. I am Jamel McKenzie, the chair of BIDA.
Good evening, citizens of College Park. I am Demetrius Taylor, Vice Chair.
Try again. Hi, I'm Leslie Zinn, Secretary.
I'm Eleanor Cornelius, Board Member.
Bianca Motley Broom, Mayor.
Eric Taylor, Mayor Pro Tem.
Artie Jones, Executive Director, Clearly College Park.
Good afternoon. I am Mercedes Miller, the interim city manager for the great city of College Park.
Dan Lee, the attorney for Clearly College Park.
Absolutely.
I'm Renee Coakley, Main Street Manager for the City of College Park.
I'm Sabritha Beasley, Administrative Assistant for Economic Development.
I'm Michelle Alexander, City Planner.
And we have some guests. Would you like to introduce yourself as well?
My name is Griffin Leone. I work with NextEra Energy Resources.
And I'm Carlos Encinas. I'm an attorney with Alston and Bird, representing NextEra in connection with the proposed tax abatement. A proposed tax abatement.
All righty.
And I'm Rachna Vidhi, also with NextEra.
Okay, we had two people speaking at the same time. Right,
Matt, go ahead.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, sorry. This is Matt Towery with NextEra in our engineering and construction group.
Okay, well, welcome.
And I'm Rachna Vidhi with the energy storage team.
Okay, thank you so much. Welcome. At this time, we're going to review our minutes from our last meeting. Just review and approval of the minutes from our February 11th, 2021 meeting.
Madam Chair, I move to approve.
I second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? It looks like it was unanimous. All righty, so we have approved our minutes for our February 11th meeting. At this time, are there any additions, deletions, amendments, or changes to the agenda?
Staff has no adjustments to the agenda, Madam Chair.
Okay. One thing I do want to say before we go into our new business is that we have been meeting as a board since I want to say April of last year, maybe it's April or May of last year, totally virtually. I think that at some point we may want to entertain when we want to move on to actually having a physical meeting. So that's just something to keep in mind and think about that, and we can discuss it later. But new business. GIC, any new business? If not, we'll go into our GICC update.
They are not on this evening, but I do know that they are doing the COVID vaccines. And also they have a movement shoot going on at the arena as well as the convention center.
Okay, thank you, Mercedes. Economic development reports.
Okay.
Do we have any economic development reports, or you want to share this?
Yes.
Okay.
Can everyone see the screen?
Yes,
Yes.
I can.
Renee?
Yes, sir. Slide 3 is where I'll start. If you can advance to slide 3.
You don't see slide 3?
Nope,
No, we just
I
see,
see 1.
Okay.
it's not on slideshow yet either. So that might have been it.
Mm, okay, it's coming up now.
Awesome.
Alrighty.
Okay. All righty. Again, I'm Renee, and I'm going to be giving the report for the Main Street and Virginia Avenue Business District. For February, we had 1 new business, and that was the Wellness Spot. It's at 3397 Main Street, right next door to the brake pad. We will be having their grand opening on April 30th, so be on the lookout for that. Go to the next slide. Some of you may have recently have gotten an email from me marketing 2 businesses that we have currently available on Main Street. On the left is College Park Shoe Repair. Mr. Cho is retiring after over 40 years in business. And, yes. And so there is potentially a contract on that space at the current moment, but I still included it in the slide. And then as well as Cafinio. That building is for lease or for sale. And I have been marketing, I have had some positive interest and have forwarded on to the leasing agent for that business. Next slide. And I'm not sure if all of you may have attended the last council meeting, but I talked about the Chick-fil-A contract that the city has partnered with Chick-fil-A to do a marketing study to determine the feasibility of having a freestanding Chick-fil-A within the city of College Park. And that was a picture of me and the owner of the East Point Chick-fil-A when the cart was delivered on yesterday. And so they're so excited. We're going to start this Monday. The cart will be outside of the depot for 3 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, from 11 to 2 p.m. There's a limited menu that they will be selling just delivered items from the restaurant. There'll be no cooking, of course, and they'll have bottled drinks and salads, those type of things. So things that people can grab and go. And then once we have enough numbers to justify having a freestanding restaurant, he'll present that to corporate, and hopefully very soon we'll have a location in College Park. At the bottom of this slide, you'll see the parklets that we've been talking about for a little bit. Well, we're a couple steps closer. GDOT has the paperwork. We're just waiting for them to give us the green light, and the money is in place. We are ready to purchase the supplies. Even though numbers are looking better for the pandemic, this is still a great idea for College Park. It will allow those businesses to have outdoor dining that will also increase the numbers. If you've been on Main Street on the weekends, you will see how busy the restaurants are in that area. So it still will be a great benefit to have on Main Street. And the bottom right picture is the Diamond College Park project that the Methodist Church is currently working on. That will be affordable housing and workforce housing units. And that design at the bottom that has the yellowed out, that will be potentially the design that they're looking towards. And there will be retail spaces on the lower level, and then potentially 2 floors of living, 2 or 3 floors of living space. Next slide. A couple of meetings we have coming up. The next Main Street Board meeting is not April 15th, but the Wednesday after. So that will be April 21st is the next Main Street Board meeting. We determined that yesterday at our meeting. And then Main Street Matters, which is a community quarterly meeting that we've started last year. We just started advertising for that. April 1st will be that meeting at 5 p.m. It will be virtual. And we'll be highlighting some projects and things that are happening in the Main Street program area. And then we will be having our second Rekindle Art and Music event, April 30th through May 2nd. Those are the current dates. We have rain dates of May 7th through 8th. We did it very responsibly in October, November timeframe, and we're able to socially distance people. We had live music. We sold 12 pieces of art. So we're looking to do that again. We're expanding it to 2 nights of music this time. And we'll also add in a kids corral. We had a local business sponsor the kids corral. So we'll have easels and paint stations for the kids, as well as clay areas and some other things. So it's just going to be a night of fun. And that will be my last slide. If there are any questions, I'll entertain them at this time. That'll be all.
Okay, Renee, I just want to say, just really exciting things are happening, and the parklets and Rekindle and the Chick-fil-A kiosk is wonderful. I'd like to ask, before we go on to the next economic development report, if you're not speaking, please mute your Zoom. We had a little bit of noise in the background while Renee was making her report. Okay, our next economic development report, please.
Okay. On the south side, I'm going to be giving a report for Tasha. Tonight, she's a little bit under the weather. There were approximately 9 new businesses on the south side. Also, we're working with the Atlanta CIDs and putting together a regional litter strategy, which would include the Old National area and the downtown College Park. There will be a ribbon cutting for the new discount mall. I'm not sure of the exact date of that, but I can shoot that information out to everyone. And then also the old Target out on Old National Highway, 5025 Old National Highway, is currently under demolition. This particular site has been, I guess, closed since 1992 at least. And it has been sitting there vacant. The roof had caved in, but now it's being demolished. That's one true sign of improvement that is coming to the south side of College Park on Old National Highway. The very next CID meeting is scheduled the second Thursday of the month from 12 to 1:30. And I believe that they have Zoom meetings. And then also the Old National Merchants Association meeting is the final Thursday of each month from 8 to 9:30. And that happens over at Suite 300. And I believe that you have to actually be invited to that particular meeting because they observe social distancing. If anybody is interested in attending, let us know in advance and we can get you guys, reserve you a space. And this is for the director's report. We recently submitted an application to the Vacant Land Institute. That's with the NLC, the National League of Cities. We have actually made it to the second round for applications. The final application is due on April 5th. So we're currently working on that, and we're working on it with the city of South Fulton also. The areas that we're focusing on is Old National Highway and Godby Road area. And of course, the city of South Fulton is focusing on Old National Highway also. They said it makes applications a lot stronger when nearby communities or cities are working together. As you can remember, we transferred the golf course property. The city of College Park transferred the golf course property to the Business and Industrial Development Authority for several reasons. The main reason was because there was some brownfield issues on the golf course, and the city of College Park could not continue to own the golf course and also receive the brownfields money. So they transferred it to the city of College Park Business and Industrial Development Authority. And as a result of that, we were able to receive the brownfield money, which was $800,000, and we were able to clean up the golf course area. Also, there are several properties or areas on the golf course that will be developed in the near future. There's the 4-acre site development on the golf course on holes number 1 and 2 at the far west side of the golf course. And then also there will be, in the future, there will be cottages that will be built between the existing clubhouse and the new residential development on the golf course. What I would suggest as a Business and Industrial Development Authority, after we finish this next transaction of the 4 acres of property for the residential, that we transfer the golf course property back to the city of College Park, so that it will be in their name. And then if we sell any additional property, we'll simply do resolutions as we normally do to transfer the property from the city of College Park to the Business and Industrial Development Authority, as we have in the past. Currently, we have construction drawings right now, or we have most of the construction drawings for the Road Street project, and that was actually approved. The initial approval was done many months ago. Right now, we also have the bridge design that's under the bridge for Camp Creek is actually under design, and I'm talking about to cross the waterway on Camp Creek and not Camp Creek Parkway. We're looking at having both of those projects to simultaneously be completed right at about June 1st. So we are on schedule. And then, of course, I have it listed twice. The demolition of Old National Highway is actually underway. And I believe I have a couple of pictures of the heavy equipment out there actually taking the building down, and also the rollaway carts that they use for the debris. And I'm here at this time to address any questions that anyone might have.
Madam Chair, I did not have a question, but I did have a comment.
Certainly.
The demolition of the old Target has been a team effort by so many people within the city, and I really did want to take the opportunity to thank the Economic Development Department, building inspections, code enforcement, and everyone else who put forth the effort to get this project moving forward, because I think it's an important piece of the redevelopment of Old National and Godby, and it really was a heavy lift that the team took on willingly, and we're seeing the fruits of their labors.
Awesome. Thank you.
Madam Chair, I have just a quick question for Artie.
Sure.
Do we really have to transfer the property? I mean, since we aren't doing anything with it, do we necessarily have to transfer it back to the city? Just a question.
No, we don't.
Okay.
What I was going to add something, Madam Chair, when Artie and I finally got the chance to talk about this issue, that if you remember the grant that was gained, and it was a very lucrative move for the city to do that, was only available with the change in title. And so having the sister entity there to deed it to fulfilled that requirement. I wanted to make certain that there wasn't a time period for which it had to remain in the name of the applicant before it left that. I would just assume that they would have a requirement, so you couldn't be switching it back and forth just for the means of getting the grant. So I'd want to double check that before we trade it back.
Okay, so Attorney Lee, will you do that? Will you check into that for us to make sure that there isn't a requirement? Yeah.
We already started that process.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other questions for our director? If or comments, I have a comment. He didn't put it in his report, but our Director of Economic Development, Artie and Tasha, attended an event during this past month. Actually, it was in February, which was a collaboration between our nonprofit community and a Nouveau restaurant, our Main Street restaurant there. It's a program for teens, and we're really grateful to have the involvement. We also had BIDA board members present, Eleanor Cornelius and our Mayor Pro Tem, Derek Taylor, were there, as well as our city manager, Mercedes Miller. So we just want to thank you for the participation. Some awesome things, just having our economic development department involved in not just the businesses, but also developing our youth here in the city of College Park. Thank you so much, Artie. We appreciate you. And even more things I won't even talk about right now. Just thank you for all that you've been doing. Appreciate you.
Thank
you.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, if there aren't any more questions for our director, and do we have any other issues that we need to discuss before we have a motion to leave this part of our meeting and go into executive session? Are there any other issues? Okay, and if not, then we would like to entertain a motion at this time to exit our general meeting and to move into executive session.
So move.
Second. All right. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, unanimous. Thank you so much. And at this time, we're going to move into our executive session. Would you share that information with us, please?
Sure. The first item is to authorize the chair to execute a reinstatement and Fifth Amendment to the real property purchase and sales agreement.
Okay.
So moved.
Second.
Second. Was that Cornelius? Oh,
Yes.
okay. Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No, I think it's all, everyone is in agreement. Thank you. Artie, and our second action item?
The second action item is to authorize the chair lady to execute a resolution of the College Park Business and Industrial Development Authority to authorize the sale of certain property equal to 2.09 acres located at 1060 Forest Parkway.
So moved.
Second.
Right. Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, the ayes have it. And at this point, this concludes, if we can get a motion on the floor to conclude our March 11th meeting of the Business Industrial Development Authority of the City of College Park. We'd like to have a motion on the floor to exit this meeting.
So moved.
So moved.
All right. Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
You all have a wonderful month, and we'll see you again soon.
Thank you.
much.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye,
Good
Dan.
night, everybody. Good evening.
Happy
Good evening.
birthday, Dan.
Good.